So I think the concept of fractional CMO or fractional roles of that kind, no, I didn't know that they existed. I always felt that you had to go find that, the needle in the haystack consultant who just happened to fit that mold really well. And you were going to fail before you could ever find one that was going to be effective. So when that concept was presented to me, I was like, this is exactly what I need. I have good doers. I've got great, people who can do activity and write blogs and do some social and do this and do that. I've got really great, folks that can execute. But what we're missing and what I don't have, right? You have to know what you don't know, is I don't have a strategic view. I don't have that, conceptual view. Where do you want to go and what high level metrics do you want to track? So we had to go find that, and that fractional CMO role was perfect for us. So when I took over as CEO, I wanted to really figure out, what does a successful marketing organization look like, right? What is best in class? We're a technology firm, so we need to be, state of the art. We have to be out there. We have to be, experimenting in new things and taking advantage of all the digital advertising and marketing that we could. And so, I started asking around, who should I be working with? Who should I be talking to? And, Authentic Brand pops up. We had been working with another firm, and that wasn't very satisfactory. Things hadn't been clicking. I hadn't seen, the return on that investment. And so as I started to poke around and ask questions and ask for referrals and recommendations, Authentic Brand kept coming up. And so I took a couple meetings. We had a few discussions and started to get a sense of, these folks look at it differently, right? They have a different approach. They have a different model. And this could be something that fits our business really well. The early days of working with our fractional CMO was really around kind of eye-opening of, oh, there's other folks that have similar problems that we do, right? This is not unique to us. There's a process around how to start resolving these. Oh, and by the way, it's not fixable overnight, and it's going to take constant attention and patience and, consistently reviewing that strategy and fine tuning it. And so I think the eye-opening was, oh, hey, think, large company ABC, this is how they do it. And mid-sized companies C, D, and E, they do it this way. And you start to get a sense of a baseline or some referrals of, okay, well, if we take this approach, we're similar to this type of company in this type of vertical, to these types of customers, let's try these techniques, right? Versus maybe we were just shotgunning before, right? I think it's the random acts of marketing issue that we had. So, I even bought a billboard one time. No good reason. I just thought a billboard would be cool, right? Random act of marketing. It didn't work. So to your point, you have to learn from those mistakes and then start to, stick to a playbook and start to stick to, a grounded approach that we built out over time. The biggest impact I've had through this entire journey has been that marketing is the most important thing you can possibly do in a technology business, period, right? I'm an engineer, I'm a technologist. And so we had always been focused on the product, the service, the gizmo, the gadget, right? The offering. And at the end of the day, if you can't tell the world about it, if you're not focusing in on those ideal clients and which ones are a good fit and how do they want to learn about you, if you don't know how to position your brand to compete against these massive, companies out there that have billions of dollars of marketing spend, then you're wasting your time, right? You can have the greatest service, you can have the greatest widget, but you're never going to sell any if the world doesn't know you're there. And so if you don't have a good marketing plan, if you don't have a good marketing strategy, if you're not focused like a laser beam on where you want to win and where you can win, you won't win. The biggest benefit of having advisors like Authentic Brand and others is that you're getting out of your four walls, right? I learned early on in being a CEO is that you do not know everything. You can't know everything. And if you know a little bit of everything, it's not best in class of anything. So you've got to go out and gather that outside opinion. You've got to gather outside, input. So for me, having trusted advisors is critical, right? It helps me sleep at night. It lets me know that I'm actually doing as much as I possibly can for the success of this business. If I sit in these four walls, I'm not going to think differently. I'm not going to challenge my own assumptions or my own biases. You've got to reach out and you've got to have those outside trusted advisors.